I know it seems odd, two people who have been divorced for more than 10 years deciding to cohabitate. Well, our teenager was getting horribly bullied in school. I took the issue all the way to school board and nothing was being done. My son ended up having to be hospitalized for the depression and suicidal thoughts. It's been several months and it has certainly proven to have made a difference for the kids, especially my teen. This in itself should make it worth everything. However, since I moved in I have had to continually defend the boundaries that I have been very clear on from the beginning. He wishes for us to be together again and finds a way to bring it up whenever he can. He uses pet names that were common for us when we were married, words that are for spouses not roommates. He continuously invades my personal space, uses every opportunity to touch me when he knows it isn't what I want. He gets offended when I call him on it, and swears he means nothing by it. He utilizes phrases such as "I'm not the same person I was, I wish you could see that." He apologizes and swears he doesn't do it on purpose. But then after a few days it starts back up again as though he didn't hear a word I said, or that he simply thinks he can wear me down. It's wearing on me emotionally. I feel like I am constantly on the edge of fight or flight. At my age it leans more towards fight, where in my youth freeze and flight were more common. However, living life feeling like you have to be on constant guard is affecting my mental health. It makes me angry. Ida for aggressively defending my personal space, my boundaries? Even though we came to an agreement that instead of him paying child support I live here rent-free? Or should I be grateful for our children's happiness and the reduced stress of being the sole responsible party and keep to keep the peace? My children's happiness is of the utmost importance to me, but I am so miserable. Edited to add, we have been divorced and living separately for 10 years. I have a successful career. This move was in the hopes that it would help our teenager who is currently going through some extremely difficult things. Update 1. I sincerely was not expecting this level of response so quickly. My 14-year-old was dealing with bullies where I lived. Even after going to the school and school board they still were not doing their due diligence. It came to the point that he had to be hospitalized. When he got out he asked if we could move to the area where his dad lives as it is in a different school district. His dad brought up the cohabitation/co-parent option to my son. My son convinced me it would be the best thing for his mental health. I would rather be unhappy than have to bury my child. I agreed with the stipulation that it would be a co-parenting situation only. I made it clear that we were roommates only and there was absolutely no chance of reconciliation. We discussed rent and agreed that I would forego child support instead of paying rent. At every turn I have aggressively defended those boundaries and made it very clear. I appreciate all of the candid advice, and my plan has always been that as soon as my son's mental health is better I will begin looking for my own place nearby. I'm sorry if parts of my original post seemed unclear. The advances didn't start until after we all had been under the same roof for several weeks. I'm angry and frustrated, as well as viscerally terrified of losing my child to depression. Update 2. Okay, I'm going to try to answer a few of the questions that I've seen. The response to this post is kind of overwhelming considering I'm usually just a Reddit lurker. 1. A duplex isn't really an option because of where we live unless we were to build one. 2. This area is extremely rural so the quickest option would probably be a camper which I have already been shopping for. 3. The things he does and says are very subtle and never where the kids can see, which I now realize was probably his intention. So they are currently unaware of the conflict. But they both are 100% aware on my feelings about not getting back with their dad. 4. I have already installed a lock on my bedroom. 5. The kids and I are in therapy. He participates as well but I haven't seen those appointments be particularly helpful yet. 6. Should he ever resort to violence I would 100% fight fire with fire.